Hi, my hair's in braids because you'll see. It's fine. I'm just getting some uniformity back into it. Anyway, on my way to work. So thank you for joining me. I thought this morning that I pretty much only use an outlet when I'm really struggling, and that's usually like my introspective and my self-loathing parts are the parts of me that like, whether it was on Instagram or Substack or just writing in general, or I used to have whatever published a book, but anyway, like it's like the vulnerable, like hard parts of me. And then I often don't share my successes because I'm like, oh, I guess I'm okay. And then I fall down again. I'm like, yeah! And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm okay. So this is me being a couple days okay. So my youngest is 12, and she has been running since she was 9 months old, but she never had an interest, and she would run track with her friends at track day and stuff, but anyway, blah 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 blah. So since Monday, I just told her, I'm like, Grace, I'm gonna get back into running. I'm gonna run Twin Cities Marathon in the fall, and I really want to get back into shape and need to get my health back, and I feel like I've lost a part of myself. So let me know if you want to join me on my runs. And because we've been talking about anxiety and stuff like that, and I feel like my life lived will, if I have a good relationship and my children trust me, then I will be able to speak into them life and love and wisdom and guidance, walking through, moving through, crawling through, sleeping through depression, anxiety, just being at the lowest of the lows and still pulling your way through, and building that resilience. So, and that's fucking self-taught. I've been doing this since I was a kid, when I was first, as a toddler. So anyway, I'm doing well. My food is on track. Grace has gone on 3 runs with me. It's Thursday morning, and she's already gone on 3 runs with me this week. And we died on Monday. It was warm. It was, Tuesday it was cooler. It was lovely. She paced with me the entire 2.3 miles. Monday was 2 miles. And then yesterday, because she has this cute little the hills are fine. And I'm like, well, do you want to stay on the flats, until we work up to it, and we work on strength. She did strength with me the other day, and she's like, hills are fine. So I'm like, okay. So I took her down a hilly path, and we made it 1.6, and she's like, I gotta walk the rest of the way. I'm like, do you mean you need to walk the rest of the way this path, or the rest of the way of the 2 miles? And she's like, the 2 miles. Sweet. So I stopped my watch, we walked, and then it seems like it took, and she's been the one, we went out for a Tuesday run. I know I'm just blabbing, but we went out for a Tuesday run because she saw that snow was coming. And I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to be running till it. Anyway, she's been, I'm tired, my legs hurt, somebody, I have to do strength today, and I have to get my steps in, but I'm not running till Saturday, and then I'm running 4 on Saturday, because I have a 10K coming up, on March 21st. Nate and I ran the very first hot dash. I believe our friend Alyssa ran with her too at the time. And then this is the very last one that Twin Cities in Motion is putting on. And So I'll be happy to join that. And I'm kind of, I mean, I'll be there for the marshmallows at the end. Probably not like the tater tot hot dish because like I can make better at home. But your girl will never turn down a marshmallow, especially after a 10K. So, but that's kind of my update. My food's been on, my water's been on, my sleep's been, I mean, honestly, I woke up at 6 today, which I've been waking up between 4 and 4:30 for the last few years. And I think it's just this added, and my body's adapting, and it's just like crashed. This motherfucker. Oh, but we shouldn't be doing this in the middle of the lane. I'm sorry. We have a school bus, and then people freak out, and they change lanes in the middle of an intersection when people are going 50. So, things are going well. Nate he got the call yesterday that he'll be starting his job on March 25th. So it just, we got our tax return. I was able to like start back up on things with the house, like getting the air ducts cleaned out, and I got the carpets cleaned, and the house is 30 years old, and they're like, this was probably the second time the air ducts have been cleaned out, and everyone has had animals. We've had animals. It should be done every 3 years. We have allergies. And I'm like, is this placebo? But the second I heard like all of this stuff like being pulled out of my house and my dryer, and I'm like, can I breathe better? I don't know if this is placebo, but even my husband and my children were like, I'm not dripping from the nose. And I'm like, air ducts. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to drive to work. I probably don't need to continue talking. Do I have something positive to say? And like teaching. You know, people make these like cliche kind of say these things, and you're like, that's shallow. Like, what do you mean? But then you get to a point in your life where you understand what they meant by that saying and like the depth of what it is. Let me think of an example. I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like, yes. Absolument. Like, there's nothing, no one, I'm not afraid of anything happening in my life because I've been through now what I've been through. I have literally, they call it the dark night of the soul. If you read or study anything that Carl Jung, I swear to God, some people in Minnesota just don't know how to fucking drive. It's a zipper. It's a fucking zipper. Merge, people. So, Carl Jung, I was talking to my dad about this, Steve, and he shared kind of like his story of walking through cancer and death with his wife. And he said after that, there's nothing that I can't do. There's nothing that I can't withstand. There's nothing that I can't live through. And after surviving what we've gone through in the last, really since probably it's just been like, I don't even want to put a timeline on it because it's just always been one thing after another. But I would say most definitely over the last, like, since September of 2020. And then you have my nervous breakdown, which is right before that. Like, it's just, one thing after another, and Brenna, and like all of that. But anyway, you know, there's nothing that I can't survive, and I feel like my habits were not lining up with, this is coming back to the marathon, but my habits were not lining up with who I am on the inside. And I have said my whole life, just being in a heavier, you know, and a lot of times morbidly obese body, but at least an obese body, that my outside doesn't reflect my inside, and it doesn't reflect my grit, and it doesn't reflect my, but, you know, I've eaten for self-protection, and it was a survival mechanism, maladaptive as it is. It's a survival mechanism. And then learning about myself that I've been trying to be gentle, I've been trying to be nice, but if you know me, people that used to know me, like my nickname was the Crusher. So I've always lived in extremes. I've always had extremes. This life has been extreme. And I think life is extreme if you're paying attention. If you're not, like, you know, but that's a different talk for a different time. But people talk about the dark, you know, the dark night of the soul, and I hadn't experienced that specific, like, day after day. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't know if she's gonna make it. Or she's gonna make it, or she's gonna make it. Every single day, all day long, all night long. For basically 509 days. From job loss to job acquired. And talking about a husband's ability to provide, and a veteran's, a soldier's, you know, ability to protect his family, and then basically being told by people you trusted at your job, you know, go fuck yourself. Oh, and don't tell anybody about it. But we survived. And the worst thing that happened is we've got a lot of medical debt that we just paid off with our tax return. Well, that's what I chose to do with it, was pay off medical debt, and got our house cleaned. You know, at least the vents and the carpets. And he starts his job, and just, I remember we haven't done anything, gone anywhere for a couple of years. In 2024 we moved under duress, and so for spring break I'm like, well, I'm gonna take a little bit of my bonus that I got from work, and I'm gonna get a couple. I love the North Shore of Minnesota, and I feel like hundreds of years connected to that place. Like, I showed up in Grand Marais, and I'm like, I know where everything is here. This is weird. Like, I've lived here before. Anyway, but I just kind of felt in my spirit, like with my bonus, like what to do with it, and I just kind of felt like, you know, taking girls on like just have like a spring break. And Nate's spring break from school was different than, I'm like, I could totally have, just the four of us. And I'm like, but that doesn't seem wise financially. And I just felt like, you can book it. It's okay. And this was before he got the call that he got the job. Like, this was back in January when I learned of my bonus, my merit raise, my work stuff, my review and stuff. So I did a good job. Because that was my one of two things that I was able to do in 2025 was keep my family alive and do good at my job. And I hustled, and I hustled through taking Brenna back and forth, taking Aubrey back and forth to mental health things day after day after day after day after day, and appointments and outpatients and inpatients and all of this. And I'm really proud of myself. And I need a break, and it's my birthday, so we're going up to the North Shore. And it was so, he actually starts the day that we're going up to the North Shore of his new job. And I'm like, it was just like, I pay attention to little winks from God, from the universe, from love, from heaven, and I feel like my grandparents help me a lot in my life. I can feel their energy, I can feel their spirit around me a lot. And I've only shared this with one other person, which was just Nate, which was just like a couple days ago. But my garden of defiance that I built last year in my house, down in my house, and the raised beds and everything, and the jungle room, like, it is a garden of defiance, because my dreams, my nightmares, my life, my finances, my heart, my history, the poverty, fear, insecurity, uncertainty, God doesn't love you, like all of, and I was already kind of in a cracked relationship in my faith. So it was very, and then to just believe and have hope and listen and I've always gotten into trouble when I don't listen to my intuition, when I don't pause. And they say, like, you don't really want to slow down when you get older, but there are parts of me where I'm like, well, I need to slow down here. And that's with my children and my husband and my work, like, and eventually my fitness. This marathoning for me, this extreme running for me is just a season. It's probably just for this year. I'm hoping that life will allow me to every year be able to take myself and or a friend and or my husband and or a child or a family member on a cute little trip to a cute little town across the world or America. I don't really know. But the plan is that I'll be able to do that and run a half marathon, which, you're trained, and it ain't no thing. And I'll be able to, you did join me for my whole commute. Thank you. I'll be able to, do that. And, that will also be up to how well I perform at work, because I'm not putting that stuff in my, like, family budget. Like, it's all coming out of my, like, a little bit of money that I set aside for myself and my bonus. And, because a girl needs shoes, and a girl needs cute little trips, and a girl needs cute little runs, and a girl needs cute little purses, and makeup, and pretty things for her house. So yeah. But things are looking up. And so if I had any advice for anyone ever listening to me ever, it would be get a good therapist, someone you can trust, someone you can talk to, someone that will give you tools, but will also listen to where you're at the time, and not just kind of project what they think about you and your diagnosis onto you. That happened to me with some CBT just last year, cognitive behavioral therapy. But go to therapy and don't spill your kids' drinks in the bath. And do I care what cute coat I'm wearing today? I do. So I gotta go. Okay, bye.